Hey, how are we doing today? I wanted to go ahead and welcome everyone. We are going to go ahead and officially start the IEP meeting for Janet today. I want to start by giving an introduction. My name is Alexis Robbins, and I'm the special education teacher. Let's go around the room and allow everyone else to introduce themselves.
Hi, I'm Crystal Loyd. I'm Janet's foster parent.
I am Leslie Fulmer and I am the principal.
I am Christy Williams, and I'm Janet's general ed ELA teacher.
I am Rhett Smith, and I am the school district psychometrist.
I'm Lacey Harrell, and I am the caseworker.
I'm Stephanie Caudle, and I'm Janet's gen ed math teacher.
I'm Talia. I'm the videographer.
Nice to meet everyone. Now we have our introductions. I'm going to go ahead and pass around the record of access form. I would like for everyone to place their signature saying that they attended this meeting and that they have access to the IEP. While we're doing that, I wanted to go ahead and discuss our purpose for this meeting. We're having this meeting today because our IEP team has put together to draft a new IEP for Janet. We do believe that Janet needs services. We feel that she will benefit from receiving services, so that is the purpose of the meeting. You cannot record this meeting because we have to keep everything confidential. We have to keep confidentiality to protect the sensitive information that is being discussed at this meeting and should protect Janet's privacy. This meeting should take over 30 minutes. All of you have your IEP in front of you. We're going to review the data and all the information that the IEP team has put together for Janet today. If anyone has any input, questions, or changes, please feel free to share them. We want to stay focused on what's best for Janet because we want her to have the most successful year and successful outcome. I'm going to ask everyone to be respectful to each other and everyone's ideas. If you have cellular devices or communication devices, I want you to turn them off. We're going to ask Mr. Smith, could you please review the data that we've collected in regards to Janet, please, and thank you.
Absolutely. We have determined that Janet is eligible for special services under the disability category of specific learning disability for reading comprehension. We have completed formal testing to determine this placement with the Woodcock Johnson Mastery Test of Reading according to her scores. Janet's broad measure of global reading ability is at a first grade 7th month level, placing her significantly behind grade level. This will significantly affect her state and other standardized testing, potentially adversely affecting social science and science as well since they're both reading-based subjects. Currently, Janet does not need transition services, which will become more relevant when she enters high school. We will visit transition services when she turns 14. The goals for transition are to encourage transition into life after high school is smooth and set up for success in secondary education, independent living skills, and career occupation. It's good to start thinking about those, but we don't have to put that on paper until she's 14. Janet is new at the school due to a foster placement. We do not have access to our previous records, so we are writing a new IEP with a reading goal since we know her reading skills are at a deficit. I'm going to give it back to Mrs. Robinson, and she's going to read through the development of the current IEP.
Thank you, Mr. Smith. You did a wonderful job. Thank you so much. At this point in time, we're going to go over the IEP that this team has put together for Janet. I would like to begin by discussing her goals that we've measured in our annual goals because this will be what we will work towards. We did have knowledge that she had a deficient in reading and reading comprehension, so we developed her an annual IEP goal in reading. I would like for you to turn to the annual goals page in your copy of the IEP so you can follow along with me. That way, if there's anything you disagree with or that you feel like we need to change, we can address it. Just let us know if you agree with the goals that we said. We did conclude that she has a deficient in the area of reading comprehension based on the recent evaluations. Janet is reading on a first grade level. Janet does need time in the resource room with a special education to target her deficient in reading and reading comprehension. The special education teacher will work with her to target her deficient in reading grade levels, words, accurately and her reading skills through discussion and write weekly for 30 minutes. Her measurable annual goal is being able to apply phonics and word analysis skills to encode and decode words in grade level text. Janet will be provided with small group time to develop her reading skills. Her progress will be assessed each semester using the Woodcock-Johnson Mastery Test of Reading Quarterly assessments, structured, unstructured observations, data collection, and work samples from her teacher. Janet will work towards her second goal of being able to demonstrate comprehension of the text being asked and responding to the questions about literary elements used in the text. Do you have anything to say about her annual goals, Mom?
To me, it sounds like y'all are able to provide her with the support and the help that she needs in order to become successful academically. So I am perfectly okay with the goals that you have written for her to help her achieve these goals.
As a caseworker, I see many of the students in the system fall behind, and we are aware of that. If you notice Janet falling further behind or having more of a regression, please let me know. I am in agreement that the goals sound great in helping her reading scores improve.
Okay, since everyone is in agreement, we're going to go to the cover page of the IEP. We sent out a teacher input survey. We did a parent input survey. We also did a student input survey. To gather this data along with all the data our psychologists collected from administrating curriculum tests, so all this information is objective and data-based. I'm going to review those strengths and weaknesses that we found and identified with Janet. When I finish, just for you all to know, we will next go to the accommodations that we will be providing to Janet. If there's anything that anyone disagrees with or wants to add to it, please go ahead and let us know. Soon we will pause and hear from Janet's general education teacher. We did go ahead and consider that the IEP team needed extended service. We were able to conclude that Janet does not need extended school year services when we assessed some of her strengths. We found that she is very sweet and she's a quite young lady. She's very respectful and her strengths are that she is well behaved. She has great behavior. She's well mannered in the classroom. Janet will also participate by reading to the reading dog in the reading choral activity. The data that we collected from Miss Loyd from the parent, which will be of concern, we found that due to being newly placed in foster care that you were wanting to meet. You weren't aware that she did receive IEP services prior to, so you wanted us to have this meeting to determine what IEP services Janet needed, and you also wanted to know you were very concerned about Janet. You're very involved and that you would be more than willing to come to the meetings and participate in her educational needs for Janet to be successful. We noted those were the parental concerns of the IEP. All for our preferences and interests, we were able to find out from the input survey that Janet enjoys looking through fashion magazines and Disney magazines. She enjoys pictures of clothes and shoes. She also loves to play on the playground and enjoys singing songs by Jennifer Lopez and Taylor Swift. Janet likes the small animals that are in the classroom and the dog that comes to the classroom twice weekly. The results of the most recent data evaluation. We found that Janet eligibility for special education services is the area of a specific learning disability, which was in the area of reading comprehension of the Woodcock-Johnson Mastery Test. Reading data was administered to Janet. Her high score was in comprehension, which was a 1.8 level, which indicates that as a typical student in first grade, at a first grade 8-month of school. Her other scores were as a word attack. She was on a 1.4 passage comprehension, 1.4 a word identification, and Janet scored a 1.2 total score was a total of 1.7, which in case that as a typical student in this first grade 7th month of school, each of the scores indicate that she is reading 3 grades below her grade level. Under her academic development needs, we are able to conclude that, according to the results of the Woodcock-Johnson test that was administered, Janet is performing significantly low in reading and comprehension, and also needs assistance with appropriate behavior while interacting and completing group work. She also needs time in a resource room to close the gaps in her reading comprehension. She does not have any medical diagnosis that requires a medication schedule, and she does not have a need for a functional behavior assessment behavior intervention plan. We're going to allow the general teacher to speak at this time. If there's any input data that she observed from Janet in the classroom that she would like to share.
Hi, everyone. First, I want to start by saying Janet is a sweet and respectful student. She works very hard in class, and I can tell that her struggles with these reading deficits affects her confidence. She will often shut down if she does not get answers correct. And with this IEP and the extra resources that we have built in, I believe that we will not only see her reading skills increase, but her confidence as well. And Miss Loyd, if you ever have any questions about anything, please feel free to contact me.
She also struggles in math with the word problems where she has to read. Just because she's at a lower level right now, she has a harder time comprehending what it's asking her to do with the word problems.
Okay, thank you all. Is there anything you disagree with?
No, like I said before, she's very sweet, and I definitely agree with all the data that has been shown today. And I believe that with this plan is what she needs, and we will get her on the right track. Thank you.
Is everyone in agreement that we don't need any changes?
Yes.
Okay, we're going to go to the services part of the IEP and read those. We're going to hear from our LEA, and I'll speak to all of our school as a whole of administrating these accommodations and services. Services that are required for her reading comprehension, the special education teacher will work with her 2 times weekly for a total of 1 hour to teach reading deficiencies to small groups, one-on-one in a resource room. We also decided under the supplementary aid accommodations will be given daily for a total of 450 minutes in the general classroom, which means Janet will require accommodation daily in class to include extended instruction, explicit instruction for understanding, and read aloud when appropriate. Janet requires accommodation assessments daily for a total of 450 minutes in the general classroom. Janet will be provided extended time instructions, read aloud prior to tests, small group, and read aloud. We also decided that we will support the personnel, whereas the special education teacher or the case manager will provide a copy of the IEP to the general education teacher twice a year and review it for 15 minutes so that the general teacher will be aware of the accommodations and services that will be entitled to receive. And if no one disagrees with those, I'm going to pause and let our LEA speak. Ms. Fulmer, do you have anything you would like to say?
No, I am fine with the accommodations.
Okay, she's responsible for making sure our students' needs are met with special education laws and regulations. She will provide input on the implementation of the IEP and offer resources and help coordinate services to support Janet's educational needs and goals. She will also ensure Janet's IEP is legally complement and facilitates communication between all parties involved, and if you ever need anything, you can always reach out to her or her teacher. We're always here for you, and we are on your team.
Greatly appreciate that Janet needs a structured environment, so I appreciate all the support from everyone.
Great, that is amazing. Okay, this concludes our meeting. I'm going to go ahead and review our minutes, and I will pass that around for everyone to sign. After the meeting, please let me know if everyone agrees with everything, and that will be the end of our meeting. We decided as a whole team, Janet will receive 2 30-minute small group, one-on-one individualization instruction weekly in the area of reading, comprehension, language to reteach reading skills. She will continue to be exposed to the general curriculum in the general ed classroom. With these implementations, Janet will be successful in the general education environment. We also decided that Janet does not need a FBA BIP. It was agreed Janet benefits from receiving services and accommodations. She will continue to receive services and accommodations throughout the school year. Does everyone agree with these minutes?
Yes.
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 Perfect. Thank y'all.